Welcome to Car Swag. You ever seen a car that looks like it flew straight out of a cartoon, but then you realize it was actually a missile disguised as a Dodge? Yeah, me too. And that missile had a name. It was loud, it was proud, and it had a wing so big it could land a small plane. We're talking about the 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona. The car that decided subtlety was for suckers and aerodynamics were just an excuse to bolt on more attitude. This wasn't some gentle evolution of a classic. This was a full-blown genetic mutation. Dodge looked at the regular Charger, a car already doing bicep curls with a V8, and said, nah, that ain't enough. We need to go faster, way faster. The mission was simple: dominate NASCAR. And to do that, they needed something that cut through the air like a hot knife through butter, or more accurately, like a freight train through a brick wall. This wasn't a car for the faint of heart. It was a brazen declaration of intent. It basically wore a "Catch Me If You Can" sign on its rear spoiler. The year was '69, and the muscle car wars were raging hotter than a summer drag strip. Ford was flexing with their Torino Talladega, and Dodge wasn't about to be left eating dust. So they cooked up the Daytona. And when I say cooked up, I mean they took a Charger, slapped a 10-foot-long nose cone on the front, and then, just to make sure you really noticed it, bolted on a 2-foot-tall wing in the back. Because if you're gonna be aerodynamic, you might as well look like you're trying to win the space race. The sleeper energy meter? Yeah, it just shattered into a million pieces. This thing is a asterisk waker-upper. The looks alone are a whole conversation starter. That nose cone wasn't just for show, though it certainly was a showstopper. It was designed to slice through the air, giving the Daytona an edge on the high-banked ovals. And the wing? Oh, that wing. It wasn't just a styling cue, it was a statement. It was a giant look-at-me billboard screaming, "I'm faster than you, and I'm not even trying to hide it." People talk about cars having presence. The Daytona didn't just have presence, it had a full-blown hostile takeover of every parking lot it graced. You couldn't ignore it if you tried. This car didn't just turn heads, it snapped necks. Now, let's talk personality. This car was born with a single purpose: speed. It wasn't trying to be your comfortable daily driver. It wasn't trying to be subtle. It was a race car, pure and simple, that they were legally obligated to sell to regular folks. Imagine trying to explain to your neighbor why your new Dodge has a wing taller than his kid. Oh, it's for downforce, Martha. Yeah, right. It's for looking like you just escaped a NASCAR pit crew. The dad car versus bad car meter? This thing is so far into bad car territory, it's got its own zip code. Your dad picks you up in this, you're either going to a NASCAR race or he's about to initiate a high-speed chase. Underneath that outrageous bodywork, the Daytona was all business. We're talking about engines that roared like a hungry bear with a megaphone. The sound alone could part traffic. It wasn't about quiet refinement, it was about raw, unadulterated power. When you mashed the pedal, the world blurred and you knew you were piloting something truly special. Something bred for the track but unleashed on the street. It was the kind of power that made you question your life choices, usually right before making another questionable one. Driving this thing was an experience. It was big, it was loud, and it commanded respect. You didn't just drive a Daytona, you piloted it. Every shift, every turn, every straightaway felt like a moment of history. It wasn't a car you took to the grocery store, unless your grocery store was at the end of a mile-long straight. And even then, good luck fitting the bags around that giant wing. Would you daily it? Only if your daily commute involved a pit stop for new tires and a quick refuel on an oval track. Otherwise, you'd be Ubering the kids to soccer practice, because that wing isn't exactly child seat friendly. The Daytona was a car out of time almost. It was so far ahead in terms of aerodynamic thinking for its era that it looked like it beamed down from another planet. And that's exactly why it became such a legend. It wasn't just a car, it was a symbol of American ingenuity, of brute force engineering, and of a brand willing to go to extremes to win. It was a car that didn't just break records, it broke the mold. It showed everyone that sometimes the most outrageous ideas are the ones that burn brightest in history. It won races, it turned heads, and it etched its bizarre, beautiful silhouette into the minds of car enthusiasts forever. It proved that sometimes you just gotta throw caution to the wind, bolt on a giant spoiler, and go for broke. Because when you do, you create something unforgettable. The 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona isn't just a car. It's a rolling monument to speed, swagger, and a complete disregard for boring. It's a legend that still makes jaws drop and hearts race even decades later. It's the kind of car that when you see it, you just know it means business. Or at least, it means a really good story. So, if you ever get the chance to witness one of these winged wonders in the wild, take a moment. Appreciate the audacity. Appreciate the sheer, unadulterated swagger. Because cars like this, they don't make them anymore. They just make legends. And this one's a Hall of Famer. Hit subscribe at @cr._swag. More legends to roast and toast, one clean photo at a time.